What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hussle, and yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on, and hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right, got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see his face. Make sure you're doing legit business and you are getting what you pay for. All right. And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there? My real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero, you're ready to be a family hero. Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, it's going to be some information that's going to help you win. And in today's video, we back at it again with the scam alert, back at it again with the fraud alert, back at it with the information that's going to help you stay safe, because it's a lot of, first of all, hold on. I'm over here drinking some Kool-Aid, and it got the sugar in it, and it's flavory. If I'm over here come on, you know what I'm saying, drink Kool-Aid, y'all know how that get. So back to it. So it's a lot of scams, there's a lot of fraud going on in the world right now. It's a lot of people in situations that are resorting to scams and fraud because that's all they know. They're under the impression that these methods, these scams can make them some quick, fast revenue, because it's a lot of people in positions that need quick, fast revenue. A lot of people in the world are broke. A lot of people who used to have money then don't have money now. It's a lot going on. And a lot of people really don't do their research. And by them not doing their research, they really don't know the outs and the ins and the ins and the outs of the things that they want to do. So since COVID-19, social media has been filled with a lot of different people posting videos, posting pictures of them flashing money, the hundreds of thousands of dollars, promoting some type of scam, some type of fraud, some type of method. And it's people that was then had jobs doing good who wasn't paying attention to that. But now it's people who, those same people are in positions where they need some quick, fast cash, and nobody wants to go sell their body. Nobody wants to go sell drugs. Nobody wants to get a job. All that takes time and to gather up clientele and fill out applications, all that. Somebody want to be able to do a method today and get paid today, thousands of dollars. So that's where their mind is. They say, "Oh, I remember this person promoting this method or this method, or this sauce or that sauce or this Bible or that Bible or whatever." So there's a lot of people got to understand. Wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed. That's just the way it is, because there's money being made, and a lot of people want to get money and not have to pay it back and just go about their life willy nilly. That's why scams and fraud schemes and methods were committed or were created. So it's a new method out here going around. A new method where people are using OTP bots, SIM swapping, taking over people's phones, doing a lot of different things that pertains to getting to people's bank accounts, bank logs, wire fraud, check fraud, credit card fraud, a lot of different things. And people are starting to learn the system. And what I mean about learning the system is that they're starting to understand that there's different ways of doing things. A scammer or a hacker might easily be able to get into somebody's bank account, steal their money, and go about their way willy nilly. But now scammers or fraudsters are doing their research, meaning that if a scammer or somebody was to go into somebody's account and take their money without their authorization, the bank is going to be at fault. The bank has to pay back that person that money, and now the bank is at loss. And if the bank is at loss, they will go and find out who took their money, because now they want to prosecute and get their money back. Now, scammers and fraudsters have figured out that if the person authorizes these transactions, the bank is not responsible for that money, meaning that the bank does not have to lose any money. That person just loses the money. Now, how would the bank not be responsible for a scammer or a fraudster committing some type of scam like this? Well, At the end of the day, when the banks look in the system and see these transactions and they say that, okay, this person sent this amount and authorized it, or they authorized this payment, they don't know what's going on. That person could easily be sending that money out to somebody and then saying, oh, I got scammed. They don't know what's going on. So that's why the banks make it clear that they are not responsible for these type of scams, because the victim actually authorized the payments. Now, hit the Kool-Aid. This is the thing. Now, scammers and fraudsters, they know the average American is broke. So they're starting to focus more on business accounts, because business accounts are more than likely to have money, because this is a business generate money, and businesses have credit cards, business cards, debit cards, and things like that. Now, how are the people getting this information, and how are they what tool are they utilizing to act as if, or to have somebody be able to authorize these type of payments? So, like I tell you guys all the time, the people are the ones who are in control. People are looking over our accounts when we call the banks to check on things and do transfers and all different type of stuff. You got to understand, those are regular people, and 9 times out of 10, when you call, they're not at the bank. They're at home working from the house. They're not at the call center. They're at home. I know this because I know a lot of times y'all didn't call the bank, or and then y'all talking to somebody, a call representative, and in the background y'all hear a dog or a kid or something. You like, is they at the house? I know y'all done heard it before. More than likely they are, because when you work for these companies, you're not at the bank. You're at home. You probably go in the office 2 times out the week, if you go into the office 2 or 1 times out the week. I knew somebody that worked in the call center like that, and she went in the office 2 times out the week and worked from home 3 times out the week. So I was literally right there with her while she was working with all this information. So now you should always think like, what about all these other people that's working at the same company? Who's to say who's with them and what they're doing? And that's how every job is. You call these banks, they're at the house. You call these companies, they're at the house. So a lot of times, and then you got hackers and you got hackers that's compromising system databases and things like that, especially these banks. So they know what people got. Like, there's places on the dark web that you can go and buy this information. So you can go on this sites that sell you a Chase Bank database, meaning that it's going to show you everybody's, all these different people's who got bank accounts with this bank, and different information with their cell phone number. So once they Chase Bank, a U.S. Bank, a Bank of America, Navy Federal, all these different banks, you can buy the bank's database with different people, their information, and their number. So scammer buys that information. Now they use this OTP bot. Now the OTP bot is basically how all these scammers sending out all these text messages to our cell phones. Hey, are you trying to transfer $4,500? So, or do you get them random text messages from these, what I'm saying, random fraud alert texts from these different banks? That's an OTP bot, meaning that they're gonna send you the text message. So they're gonna get your number, put the number in there, and then send a text to you. If you respond no, they're gonna hit a button, it's gonna send another text message, say somebody gonna recall you call you shortly from the fraud department. They're gonna wait a second, then they're gonna call your number, act like they're somebody from the fraud department. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna direct you, social engineer you to send money with your authorization, so the bank won't be at fault. And if the bank is not at fault, the bank is not gonna go after that person. The bank is not gonna try to find that person, because the bank ain't losing money. The bank is gonna basically look at you like this is your fault. They ain't got nothing to do with me, and which is messed up. So we got another story, another case over here of somebody else who got scammed with the same phishing scam. Somebody lost $80,000 from their business. Like I said, these scammers and fraudsters are going after businesses and not personal accounts anymore, because most people are broke, but most businesses are generating some type of funds, especially in today's world with business funding. So, with that being said, let's see how this Austin business lost out on $80,000 to bank fraud. And shout out to KVUE News Channel. I don't know where this from, but shout out to y'all.
$1,000 tonight. And if you or your business accepts digital payments, this could happen to you.
Bank officials say fraudsters overtook accounts, bought products, waited a month, and then reversed the deposits, leaving the business empty-handed. And as investigative reporter Jenny Lee discovers, legal protection from bank fraud depends on who you are.
Repairing laptops, configuring computers.
Can we make some bubbles?
Even making bubble wrap. All activities that haven't changed at CTS Mobility in North Austin, a company that provides businesses with mobile technology.
Another aspect is lifecycle management, where customers rely on us to procure their hardware.
Hardware like Apple devices. Items Arturo Monsive says were part of a scheme that cost his business tens of thousands of dollars.
There were multiple orders placed over a period of 30 days.
In March and April of 2025, Monsive says 2 new customers made 8 purchases, prepaid a little more than $77,900 after a reference by an existing CTS customer.
Once the money was in our bank account, we placed the order. The devices were delivered to the customer.
So far, so normal.
No red flags.
Until May, when Monsive says deposit reversals withdrew $77,909.88 out of their account, leaving the company without the money or their products.
And then it was literally...
See, this is another bank scam where people are cash backing. People are ordering products and then doing reimbursements or disputing the transactions, and the companies be at loss like that too. Like, people find and figure out ways how to social engineer or defraud a bank or a company due to loopholes. This is all due to loopholes. Like, people figuring out loopholes with the banks and disputes and all things like that. Dispute scams out here too.
Figuratively ripped away from us.
Monsive says they reported the crime to all the banks involved and to authorities, but he hasn't gotten his money back. The KB defenders contacted all the financial institutions involved: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and USAA. USAA told us fraudsters unlawfully gained access to the account of one of its clients, a woman in her 90s, and made nearly $78,000 worth of Apple purchases from CTS. When the elderly woman discovered the unauthorized transactions, she reported it. USAA investigated and initiated deposit reversals.
So basically, somebody got into somebody's account, made purchases, and when the lady found out, she disputed it. So the people who probably made the orders got the products, and now they out there selling it. They ain't get no money, but they selling the product. So basically got free product to make free money. Crackhead scams. But hey, people fit whatever they got to do, they going to do it.
Spokesperson for Wells Fargo Bank confirms it processed the automated clearinghouse returns consistent with natural rules and industry standards. An ACH transaction is an electronic money transfer like direct deposits or direct payments through apps like Venmo.
Or receive direct deposits while you're on the go. Hey, I just got paid.
The National Automated Clearinghouse Association is a non-government agency that regulates ACH. A NACHA spokesperson denied our request for an interview and referred our questions to its website. A spokesperson for Bank of America said Bank of America did not facilitate the ACH transactions in dispute, and we have no ability to undo them.
See?
We also reached out to Paya, the merchant service provider for CTS. That's a system that allows businesses to accept credit cards, debit cards, and digital payments like Apple Pay. The Paya spokesperson said, quote, "We recognize the growing impact of financial loss from consumer returns on small businesses and sympathize with those affected. Paya acts as a third-party ACH processor and does not hold consumer accounts or determine whether transactions..."
See, these loopholes will be killing people, and these scammers and fraudsters be figuring out these loopholes, which doesn't make the banks at fault, because they dive deep into detail. Like, listen, we know what's going on out here, so it's people scamming, and we don't know if y'all scamming. So if you authorize these payments or whatever, there ain't nothing we can do, cuz.
It's authorized, end quote.
I think that everyone's surprised.
It turns out when it comes to the law and bank fraud protection, the difference is night and day for consumers and businesses. That's why the elderly woman whose account was taken over was reimbursed her losses, while CTS Mobility has not been reimbursed. Companies are left to absorb losses that individual customers would never face.
There are different nuances for business customers and consumer customers, and I don't think everyone realizes that.
Victoria Stevens is an attorney with the Texas Bankers Association. She says federal law places a bigger burden on businesses.
It is really important that businesses be paying attention to those agreements that they have in place with their bank or financial institution and really review those contracts, because while these rules have a set of guidelines, again, it allows it to be varied by agreement. So the number of days for reporting and what's considered timely, all of that can vary slightly depending on bank and customer.
According to a recent industry study, unauthorized party attacks, like what happened to CTS, now make up for 71% of losses.
That's wild.
Account takeovers are one of the fastest growing types of bank fraud.
That's where they make these purchases and wait until there's been enough time so that the purchase looks like a legitimate one, and then they do a chargeback. It's unfortunately a growing issue and something that people should definitely be on the lookout for.
Account takeovers are such a problem that the FBI recently issued a public service announcement. Since January of 2025, the FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center got more than 5,100 complaints with losses totaling more than $262 million. The Texas Bankers Association is also raising awareness.
The IRS just called and said that.
Ooh, probably not. It's a classic scam. Snap out of it.
Fraud in Texas is definitely on the rise, and Austin is no exception to that.
That's wild.
Back at CTS, new business protocols are underway.
We're trying to do as much as we can to be as prudent as we can.
As Monterey tries to prevent.
And that's all people really can do is nowadays just do what they can to stay safe. It's a real crazy world out there. People finding any and every way that they can to get over and scam and defraud banks, companies, and all different type of stuff. So like I tell you guys all the time, man, it's all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware. Make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock accounts that will monitor all your financial and social media accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on. And it will also monitor your personal information to make sure it's not on the dark web floating around for anybody to buy and commit any type of identity theft. Make sure you guys are freezing your credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, so nobody can get anything in your name when it comes to credit cards, loans, and lines of credit. Make sure you guys are getting new debit and credit cards every so often because we use them all day, every day. And every time we use them, that information is stored on a database. If you get a new credit card with new information on it, and a leak happens when that old card information is on there, you'll be safe, right? So make sure you guys are staying more safe, staying more cautious, and be more aware of what's going on in this crazy real world that we live in, and you'll last longer, right? So that being said, shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going. Y'all motivate me keep dropping the sauce, and y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke, because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime 101 limited gyms are $1,000. But for limited time only, I'm doing it for $600. Yes, $600 cash app or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is in cash app or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yo me. Also, make sure y'all book and y'all see you on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, $250. Make sure y'all book and y'all see you on the crypto tour in person limited gyms, $3,500. Make sure y'all book and y'all see on the month-long mentorship, $1,000. First 10 people, $500. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato App, Millionaire Network. Still looking for people for the production company. Still looking for rappers, singers, models, producers, cameramen, women, gamers, streamers, and content creators. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how to get down to the end of these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.